Hello to the world and to the kingdom citizens. I greet you in the precious holy name of Yeshua Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, who said in his word, John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Hi, I'm Dr. John Curry, Ambassador, Pan-African, and welcome to the Embassy of the Kingdom of Heaven on Earth. If you want to follow this podcast, please subscribe to JC Global Embassy TV 1. Ring the bell and hit the thumbs up button. Today's message is basically about Africa being conquered, the destruction of African civilization or Black civilization by Chancellor Williams. Again, the destruction of Black civilization by Chancellor Williams. This was a required reading in my household for my two children. They had to read this book and they had to write reports out on it by the time they was 12 and 13 years old. But what is so ironic in this book is that this book still have a lot of power. And it's going to tell us, listen, that the only reason why everyone is conquering us is because of our arrogance, because of our pride, and our disunity to come together as a people. Take a peek. Or take a listen to this clip.
Reading comes courtesy of Respect Your Legacy Books. This extract is taken from The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. Other invaders found penetration easy under the banners of religion. Full advantage was taken of the fact that Africans are a very religious people. First came the crescent flag of the Prophet. The Islamic advance was three-pronged. Proselytizing missions claiming one brotherhood, widespread intermarriages and concubinage with African women due to the Muslim system of polygamy, and forceful conversions at sword point. The cross of Jesus Christ followed the Muslim crescent. The cloak of Christianity was a most convenient hiding place for those who had other designs. Hence, the drive to convert. Conversion here meant far more than conversion to Christianity. As in the case of Islam, it meant change into the white man's image, his ideas, and value system. The real object of worship turned out to be neither Jesus Christ nor his Father, God, but Western man and Western civilization. Christian brotherhood? Well, yes, in principle. Or to be practical, you blacks can have all the Christian brotherhood you desire among yourselves. Apartheid was Africa-wide under colonialism, and not a peculiarity of the South African system, so many are led to think. But what happened in the process of converting blacks to Islam and Christianity was the supreme triumph of the white world over the black. Millions of Africans became non-Africans. Africans who were neither Muslims nor Christians were classed as pagans, and therefore required to disavow their whole culture and to regard practically all African institutions as backward or savage. The blacks in their own right became non-persons, members of a race of nobodies, so hopeless that self-realization as personalities, even in a subordinate status, could only be achieved by becoming Muslims or Christians. Indeed, in order to destroy completely not only their African heritage, but also their very African identity psychologically, they were forced to change their names to Arabic and Christian names. Henceforth, if these black Emils, Johns, Mohammeds, Samuels, and Abdullahs happen to achieve greatness in some field, the assumption would be that it was Caucasian achievement, unless a special effort was made to identify the race of the person in question. Blacks at home in Africa and blacks scattered over the world bore the names of their enslavers and oppressors, the ultimate self-effacement that promoted a self-hatred which made pride in the race difficult. That these psychological shackles still handicap not only the rebirth of modern African states, but also blacks everywhere should be obvious to all. Finally, there were the invaders who apparently disdained the cloak of deception and came in fighting. They had no problems. They knew in advance that they would find the Africans almost everywhere, unprepared to defend themselves against a well-organized, well-trained body of men, no matter how small. This situation developed as splinter. Independent little states became more and more numerous. The use of secret agents seems to be as old as organized states, for the practice of sending spies as goodwill ambassadors, traders, etc., well in advance into a country to be invaded goes far back into antiquity. Those sent into Africa from various lands could report back that 1. The Africans were largely a peaceful people and engaged in agriculture, mining trades, fishing, the arts, crafts of various kinds, and manufacturing such things as pottery, furniture, building materials, boats, weapons of war, etc. 2. These settled states and their generally highly developed social and political systems indicate their advanced civilization. 3. But they were ill prepared for war, except against their neighbors, who also used a kind of spears, bows, and arrows, which we had abandoned long since. 4. In general, they have no swiftly moving mounted soldiers. 100 of our dashing cavalrymen with firepower could put 10,000 of them to flight. 5. They are a secretive people, for while they are fully aware of the great mineral wealth of the continent, they use it in a very limited way, mainly for personal adornment, and they have no desire to open up to foreigners for world commerce that would greatly benefit them. Accordingly, they rigidly limit their trading activities, and mainly because Asians hold all their seacoasts and have them cut off from the world and all its trade. 6. Finally, the whole of Africa could, with a few exceptions, be progressively taken over simply by picking off one small state after another. For the overall pattern of the continent is one of countless small independent groups, each for itself and itself alone. There is no unity among them, even for a common defense. Since it is the first duty of each chief to protect his people, all seem to be too proud to seek unity with other chiefs, thinking this might indicate a sign of weakness and itself invite attack. Therefore, it could have been truthfully reported to either any time during the last 1,000 years that the widespread segmentation and attending disunity among Africans made them easy to conquer and dominate.
JC Global, MSC TV1.